Hey, welcome in. Travis here, bringing you Magic Match of the Day number six. Number six. And with the third one with Elf Belcher, I know a lot of you want to see this deck win with Magic learning Magic backwards and forwards, which brings us, howdy hey, which brings us to the theme of the day, and the theme and the question of the day, which is. Let's go ahead and safe right quest for the breeding pool. The theme of the day, always nice to have minimal social skills. I like saying hi. I have a hard time with people sometimes. I like to play Magic. Anyways, theme of the day is fear and faith. So I've been holding in a lot of fear. And now is a good day to express that because I have the fear of losing again with Elf Belcher. Going. It seems like we'll have time to Aether Vial. I have fear of losing with Elf Belcher. I have fear of making mistakes on camera. I have fear of saying the wrong thing. I have fear of, and this is just in Magic, but I have faith that there are those of you who get value from this, win or lose. I have faith that if we play enough, we will win. Marilyn the Morning Song. Each player loses 3 life, searches his library for a card. 3 of each player's. So we're going to do that. We have Path to Exile to remove that Marilyn as well. Put a counter. And then in my life, I've got a lot of fear. I've got fear of, and this hear me sharing. Um, I don't mean to project necessarily negative emotions on you today, the watcher. I mean to address the realities of life and look at a strategy for make a strategy for. Oh, this is interesting. Strategies for moving forward. So we can get anything and put it in our hand. I kind of like getting Wood Elves actually, because we could play Stomping Ground, Wood Elves for Temple Garden, Path to Exile, the Marilyn. Or we can get like a Heritage Druid and play Heritage Druid, Elvish Visionary, and on the following turn, we go Heritage Druid, Elvish Visionary, Path to Exile, and on the next turn go for Sylvan Ranger. I'm gonna get the Wood Elves. Okay, back to my story. In my life, I have fear of alienating everybody. I have fear of running out of money, not being useful enough. I have fear of getting banned by Magic. But I have faith. I have faith that my intentions are good. I have faith in my family and friends and followers in supporting me. I have faith in my own work ethic. I have faith in my own desire to be helpful, that I will succeed. So, question of the day for you. You don't have to answer this in the chat, but something to think about. What are you afraid of? What are some things that you're afraid of? What terrifies you the most? I guess I listed things that don't terrify me the most because, well, I'm actually not that scared of death because that's just something that's going to happen. What are you afraid of? Do we want to get the last land? Yeah, sure, let's get the last land. Sylvan Ranger. What are you afraid of? What are you going to do about it? Even mind sensor, that's interesting. Missed. Then we could play Elvish Archdruid, or we could... Yeah, I like... The problem with Elvish Archdruid... I'm gonna just throw out Belcher. And what are you putting your faith into? How are you gonna get through it? So I hope that helps you. I know that I'm sharing a lot, but it's like the audience is pretty small and tight right now. There's not a ton of you, and most of you who are watching have followed me through some craziness. So I want to give, rather than trying to help a lot of people, I want to really try to help just a few of you as much as I can, right? Go deep more than going wide. Interesting. Are we gonna die? What's happening? Falkenrath Aristocrat. We're not gonna die. 6. However, we're gonna be charbelching and hoping to win. Do we want to up it to Elvish Archdruid? Or do we want to keep it on Elvish Visionary? Is this a human? Yeah, we're going to be dead next turn. There's not really a way around that. I'll take it up. Hope to draw the breeding pool. Simian Spirit Guide. I don't have faith in this working this time, but if you try something enough, generally, eventually it will work. Gamble. This is the fun of the deck as well. There's a lot of chance and luck involved. -12. We won. We won the first game. Life's a gamble sometimes. Alright, opponent had the courtesy to concede to save us from having to click every single card. And we're off to game 2. So, this is, again, a matchup where our sideboard is not the most useful thing. So, this deck is kind of filled with hate cards. Just the meanest hate cards. But if the opponent isn't playing a deck that's susceptible to hate, then we don't have a lot to sideboard. We could go beefier with Kadama's Reach or Civic Wayfinder, but I think I'm just going to submit with what we have. And we're back with a really strange one. I think that I'm actually going to keep and see what happens. I'm just not a huge fan of mulliganing. And I don't know. We could start the game with 2 Aether Vials. And depending on the speed of the opponent's hand, depending heavily on the speed of the opponent's hand, Grim Lavamancer. Okay, that could be problematic. I almost clicked through our turn. Okay. That scared the hell out of me. So, think about how to play this. We could play... It makes sense to just play 2 Aether Vials and try to win a longer game, slower game. This seems like a matchup where Chancellor of the Tangle is fantastic if we can get it down. A 6/7 reach. We did see Zealous Conscript from the opponent, which is a card that lets them steal our card and attack with it. So that's something we need to be aware of and play around if necessary. Okay. Sig River Cutthroat. See if the opponent attacks here. Chooses not to attack. I'm gonna I am gonna drop Heritage Druid, and then I think it makes sense to have move one up and keep one, so that if we draw a 1-drop, another 1-drop, which we have a lot of. There's a Wargate, which sucks. Chip the turn. The fear is starting to set in. But I have faith. Yeah, and think about this. This is from playing a game that should be fun. And not that it's not fun. Um, but so many, weird feelings are coming up through the game. Oh, the opponent chose not to attack or misclicked. Not sure. This is a good challenge to start the day though, because win or lose, this gives me faith and courage. Path to Exile is interesting. I like it because we can use it on our own creature to pull a forest. Lightning bolt targeting us. Take it. Oh, and the opponent draws off Sig River Cutthroat. I see. Yeah, maybe the format needs to change. It could be too stressful of like, we have to do this no matter what, right? The discipline, right? Okay, here comes something beefy. Falkenroth Aristocrat. Definitely would prefer to Path to Exile that. I'm gonna hit it with the Path. Would like to path our own creature, but necessary to make that thing go away. Entered the exile zone. And they get a land. They've got 2 cards left. Well, nope. It takes 2 to Grim. End of turn. Sure, we can drop the Archdruid, although we still aren't doing a whole lot with that mana. Want to keep ticking this Aether Vial up for damn sure. I'm going to tick them both up. We're going to have one sit on 3 and one moving up towards 7. See if we draw something we can cast. Yikes. 2, 3, yikes. That's all I can say. Ship the turn. We'll give it another 3 turns. And we've got Chancellor of the Tangle coming down. 6, 7. Vigilance Reach. Not just 1, but 3. Scout's Warning is interesting. Next time you can play an instant, or creature, you can play it as if it had flash, draw a card. So that gives the opponent fuel for Grim Lavamancer to take down our Archdruid. Orzhov Pontiff. Okay. So when Lavamancer takes out our Archdruid, we're going to lose the Heritage Druid too. And Atheros is almost a creature, so this game's not looking great. Alright, we're gonna tick the main one up to 6 or to 5. Keep the other one at 3. It could have been worth just racing them both to 7. Forest. Not actually that helpful. So we do have Simian Spirit Guide coming down, and then see the opponent attacks. drop Simian Spirit Guide, and we can either block the Grim Lavamancer, or if we're given the opportunity to block the Grim Lavamancer or the Orzhov Pontiff. How does this work? Whenever another creature you own dies. Interesting. I guess I'm gonna block here and pay 3 life. Or not pay 3 life. Liliana, Heretical Healer. Yeah, alright, this is crazy. Opponent with all these things. And I think I'm gonna go to the next game. So we're just miles away from doing much. Yeah, let's just move to game 3. Yeah, I want to know what you think about this format. Should it be changed? It shouldn't be causing this much stress. Or maybe my stress is really coming from the other things going on in my life. This is a good hand. And the last thing I want to do is really project it on my audience. I'm supposed to be the beacon of strength, the shining inspiration or whatever. In theory. Okay, I'm gonna get the forest. No, I'm gonna get the plains. I'm gonna get the plains. Ship at the turn. Yeah, this is a very good hand. We haven't seen a whole lot of artifact removal or discard from the opponent. Safe Right Quest is a good one too. Drop Elvish Visionary. Draw a card. Elvish Archdruid is kind of exciting. Yeah, next turn we can do some cool things. Heritage Druid into... Well, depending if the opponent hits us with a removal or a discard, we go Heritage Druid, Abbot of Carol Keep. Yep. Word of Seizing. What does this even do? 5 mana, split second, untap target creature. Interesting. So we can go with a Heritage Druid and either a Wood Elves or an Elvish Archdruid. I'm gonna go with the Elvish Archdruid because this way, let's play a Safe Right Quest. We can actually, and I'm gonna get the Temple Garden. Leave the Stomping Ground in the Forest. We can actually win next turn if the opponent does not stop us. If the opponent doesn't, looks like we might be seeing some discard, maybe a removal. Even if we hit discard, we could be in decent shape. As our alternative plan could be pretty good. Tidehollow Scholar. Yeah, okay. Well, that is going to make this game much more difficult. Although, we still have good top decks as well. So, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play Elvish. 3, 4, 5, 6. We can play... We should be able to play... Can we play all these things? Say we play Wood Elves. Well, I definitely want to have both Archdruids in play. Say we play Wood Elves, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can do this. Wood Elves, and we're gonna have 6. Get a Stomping Ground. We don't even have to pay life. Get Chancellor. So we don't have Belcher, but we may not need it. Our board is triumphant right now. And unless the opponent has a flurry of removal, which they haven't shown themselves to be necessarily playing, we can just turn things sideways and hopefully that's enough. I think I'm gonna hold back the Archdruids. It's hard to really do the math of what's gonna happen. Crackling Doom. Okay, we need to sacrifice Chancellor. But we still have a really impressive army coming in. Put the opponent down to 8. Play an Aethervial. Ship the turn. And we still have really good top decks as well. Wargate or Goblin Charbelcher likely to end things right now. And the opponent conceded, which means that we won. So, questions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck and talk about this. Alright, questions. What are you afraid of, and what are you going to do, and where are you putting your faith? Again, you don't have to answer that in the comments. This question I do want to hear in the comments if you made it this far. What do you feel about this format? Because it puts a lot of pressure on me to win after a certain point. And that's like the opposite of what I want. I want it to be very casual if possible. So I'm kind of mixed on this. And then finally, if you made it all the way to the end, if you really enjoy this free content, consider supporting what we're doing on Patreon. There's a link below, and you can also get entry into the deck crafting program through that. So if you're not already in there, would love to see you in there, and you have a lot to learn, and I have a lot to share. So see you in the comments, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.